Market woman, is it true you cannot lie?
I do not bend my words.
Even when the truth destroys what you love?
Then let it destroy me too. Good. Then the test begins.
Imagine a village in the vast plains of Nigeria, where the grass sways like golden waves under the blazing sun, and the wind carries stories from one ear to another. This village was known as Ilera, a place where the earth smelt of red soil, and the smoke from clay stoves twisted into the sky like lazy snakes. The drums of the evening danced from hut to hut, calling the people home. But some evenings, the drums were silent. Some evenings, the earth whispered secrets only the brave could hear. In this village lived a market woman named Ife. She had a strange habit. She could not tell a lie. Not even once, not even a little. If a customer asked if her palm oil was the best and she knew the harvest had been weak, she would say, "It is thin and the color is pale. Buy it only if you must." If a friend asked if their new cloth was flattering, Ife would say, "The pattern fights your spirit and the dye will stain your skin." People whispered about her, calling her the mirror of Ilera. Some thought it was a blessing, others a curse. The greedy traders hated her because they could not cheat in her presence, and the gossips feared her because she would never join in their colorful lies. Yet, Ife lived as she always had, honest, stubborn, and strangely cheerful, her laughter ringing out across the stalls. One morning, the sky turned a peculiar shade of purple, like a bruised plum, and the wind carried a scent of burning leaves from a fire no one could see. Ife set out to the market, balancing her basket of fresh vegetables on her head. But as she walked, she noticed the birds falling silent. The weaver birds stopped their chatter, and the lizards, usually so bold in the sun, huddled deep under the red rocks. "Something is coming," Ife whispered aloud, and the earth seemed to hum beneath her feet in agreement. Suddenly, at the edge of the ancient forest where the trees grow tall and dark, she met a stranger. He did not walk like a man, he glided. He wore a cloak made of 1,000 iridescent feathers, and his eyes glowed like the last embers of a dying fire. "Market woman," he said, his voice sounding like dry leaves skittering across a tomb. "I have traveled from the place where the sun sleeps to find you. Tell me, is it true what they say? Will you speak only the truth, even if the words burn your throat?" Ife adjusted her basket on her head and looked him steadily in the eye. "The truth does not burn me, stranger. It is the only air I know how to breathe." The stranger leaned closer, his glowing eyes searching her soul. "Many truths carry danger. A lie can be a shield, Ife. Are you prepared to stand naked against the storm?" "The fear of truth is heavier than the truth itself. I carry no fear, for I have nothing to hide." The stranger smiled, revealing teeth that shone like polished bone. "Very well. Your first test begins now. Truth is not just about words, it is about the courage to act." From the shadows of the tall grass, a child appeared, weeping. His clothes were torn and his face was streaked with dust. "Please, market woman," the child sobbed. "My mother is feeding. The healer says only the silver lily from the spirit river can wake her, but I am too small to face the shadows." Ife knew the river. It was a place where the water did not flow, but simmered. It was a place where crocodiles lurked like ancient logs and spirits slept in the deep mud. A lie would have been easy, to say I am too old or I have no time, but Ife looked at the child and saw the truth of his pain. "I will go," she said simply. She walked for many miles, and she walked through many thickets where the thorns tried to grab her skin. When she reached the river, she saw the water glowing with an eerie silver light, and in the silver she saw shadows, monstrous shapes that rose from the reeds. "Who dares take what is ours?" 100 voices whispered at once. "I am Ife, and I take only what is needed to heal. I do not come to steal your beauty, but to borrow your mercy." The water erupted. A creature rose, covered in jade-colored scales, its eyes two burning pits of fire. "You speak truly," it hissed, its breath smelling of ancient rain. "But the river takes a price. Tell me, woman of truth, what is the weight of a lie?" Ife did not hesitate. She thought of the broken hearts she had seen in the village, and the war started by a single false word. "A lie weighs heavier than the world," she said, her voice echoing off the water. "It sinks the heart faster than a stone, and it drowns the soul before the body even knows it is dead." The creature froze. It bowed its massive head, and the water stilled. A single silver lily floated to the bank. Ife took it, her heart thumping, and hurried back. Ife returned to the village, and the herb saved the child's mother. But the peace did not last. The stranger had planted a seed of jealousy in the market. A wealthy trader named Okoro, who had grown fat on cheating his neighbors, accused Ife of stealing his gold coins. "She claims to be honest to hide her thievery," Okoro shouted to the gathered crowd under the Iroko tree. The villagers looked at Ife, their faces dark with the poison of suspicion. Ife stood in the center of the square. She could have lied and said she saw Okoro drop the coins. She could have made up a story to frame him, but she stayed silent until the shouting stopped. "I did not take your gold, Okoro," she said, her voice like a bell in the morning air. "And you know this. Your coins are not stolen. They are hidden in the lining of your own vest, for you wish to see if the village would choose a lie over the woman who tells them the truth." The crowd gasped. Okoro turned pale. He reached for his vest, and the jingle of gold gave him away. The stranger, watching from a clay wall, clapped his hands. "The truth shines," he murmured, "but the final burden is yet to come." As night swallowed the plains, a fire appeared in the sky brighter than the moon. It descended into the village square, transforming into a giant leopard with spots that shimmered like molten gold. The villagers fled into their huts, bolting their doors. Only Ife remained. The leopard stepped closer, its paws silent on the red earth. "Ife," the leopard growled, the sound vibrating in her very bones. "The last truth will change you forever. To speak truth to others is easy. To speak truth to oneself is the path of the gods. What is the secret you keep in the dark?" Ife looked into the leopard's golden eyes and saw her own reflection. She felt a tear catch in her throat. For years she had carried a fear she never spoke aloud. "I fear," she whispered, her voice trembling for the first time. "I fear that because I cannot lie, I will one day speak a truth so sharp it will break the people I love. I fear that my honesty is not a gift, but a wall that keeps me alone." The leopard did not eat her. It leaned forward and licked the tear from her cheek. "That fear is your final truth, Ife, and by naming it, you have broken its power. Truth is not a wall, it is a bridge. Only those who are brave enough to be real can truly be loved." With a roar that sounded like a song, the leopard vanished into the stars. Ife stood alone in the moonlight, feeling lighter than the wind. From that day on, the people of Ilera not just respected Ife, they sought her out when they were lost. They realized that while the truth could be heavy, it was the only thing that could hold a village together. And every time a trader felt the urge to cheat or a friend wanted to hide a secret, they would look toward the market and remember the woman who faced the golden leopard. The moral: truth is heavier than lies, yet it is lighter than fear. Speak it bravely, for the world remembers those who do not hide.